imagine how ball is a big crowd from Galway. Look, that's a big crowd. What would it feel? 2, 3, 5?
Match coming in association with Buserton right throughout the day, and indeed with Statoil on the big rally. A very busy weekend in sport on Galway Bay FM and all in readiness here. I'm joined by our match analyst Cyril Farrell. Cyril, first congratulations on your win today. I know it was only a challenge game against Tipperary. You won by 2 points. It was a tough enough game, but well done.
Yeah, I suppose part of the game, the conditions kind of dictate it would be a tough game as such. Like, it was windy and the pitch was very wet, very heavy rain. Here in Thurles now, there's a good strong breeze. The pitch is immaculate out there again, and there's just good support for both teams. Athenry look I was just in the dressing room beforehand, Paul, and they look very fresh, and I think they're out to make history today.
Well, we sincerely hope so, but I would say to sum up the conditions, the wind is blowing in from the Nina side right, the Killenan side, as they say here in Thurles, from our left to right as we look from our commentary position, and it'll be interesting to see who will play with that wind in that first half. But one would say that the conditions will probably favour Camross, but the pitch might favour Athenry. Would that be a fair summation?
I'd say that's what most people think. All right, like that the pitch would definitely favour kind of a mobile side like Athenry. Very, very wide pitch. Like Thurles is big and is wide. Okay, the wet conditions will probably suit Camross, but I still think, Paul, like that. Athenry are carrying a lot of experience, a lot of strong men as such. Now the breeze will be a big factor. Tom the PJ out there before in the dressing room, like he would love if there was no breeze, and so would I. Like I said, make it a full match. When you have it, if you not have enough up, you're in trouble. Play against it too much down, you're in trouble. I would expect that if Athenry do win the toss, I'd expect that they'll take the breeze. But there's right underneath us, Paul, the Athenry crowd seems to be in the new stand. We're here in the old stand. It seems to be all Camross here in the old stand, more or less.
That's certainly true. There are some Galway people, and the Galway players are down below us as well. They'll be happy. That final score in that game earlier on was 1-6 to Galway on 7 points to Tipperary, and the goal came, Ollie Fayyo, I think, got the last touch in it, but there was good work by Vinnie Maher before it went in.
Yeah, great work by Maher. Give a great ball to Broad. Broad gave it back to Maher. Hand passing the whole way through onto Fahey, and he finished it. But we're up against the part. It was kind of a game that could have gone either way. The conditions really dictated. But a game between ourselves and Tip, there's always terrible rivalry. Like the few hundreds that were there, they really got value for the money, because it was skin and hair flying it. No one got hurt, but it was a good workout.
It certainly was a good workout, and I can hear the Fields of Athenry being sung down below us, that it's lonely around the Fields of Athenry as the song goes, and of course it'll be lonely enough because half of Athenry, maybe 3/4 of Athenry are here today, but Athenry is full with a rally, people, and I know that Kevin and all the gang are back there keeping us posted right throughout the day in association with Statoil. So really all in readiness here, both sides out in the field, and the two captains about to go in for the throw-in. That's Matt Collier, he's the captain with Camross, and our own Brian Feeney, the captain of Athenry. They're going in. How would you say Brian will react if he wins the toss?
I think if Brian wins the toss, he'll play with the breeze, because Athenry would think if they get a bit up, say in the first half, they could play actually, Paul, as well against the breeze, especially their forwards, because they have more space. The nice win at half time, up a good few points. That's, I'd say, would be the hope, but it'll be interesting what happens here. Camross have won the toss, and I think they're playing against it.
So just wait and see. Camross have won it, and they might choose. Now Camross, of course, an experienced side. They've been there a long time. They've won 2 Leinster championships, won over 20 county championships, so they have a fair pedigree in Laois and indeed in Leinster. But having said that, they have some very much old stagers on the side.
They have, Paul, but the only thing is that their old stagers will be very good. Like the two guys that I know really well from Old Hurling would be Joe Dollar. Now he's centre forward, he used to play regular wing back and centre back for Laois. A very, very good hurler as such. And like the man himself, PJ Cuddy, picked at wing forward, probably wind up full some of the time. Like they're around a long time, but for as regards heart and commitment, and they have good hurling, they won't lack anything that way. But like it's a matter, I'd say, for Athenry, let the ball do the work and like into the open space and play the game as fast as they can.
So we're all in readiness. Pitch, how do you think the state of the pitch? It looks great from up here.
Paul, like Thurles is a great pitch, there's no doubt about that. Like it has taken the rain very well. They did a big job here a number of years ago on drainage. Took a while to settle down, but now it's back in great form. Okay, there is a strong breeze, but other than that, Paul, that pitch is as good as you're going to get this time of the year.
What do you make of the Athenry selection with Pascal Haley at midfield?
Well, I think, Paul, the way he was playing, it was between himself, say, and John Hardman for midfield. Colin Burns seems to have lost out as well. Pascal's a big, strong, hard grafter, and they'll be hoping that he'll kind of do a lot of the horsework early on, and then maybe bring on John Hardman or someone. Hardman is probably suffering, Paul, because of his versatility, because I noticed that Athenry bring him on centre back, wing back, or midfield. Now that can happen to a player, but it's nice to have players like that. I would say at the moment that PJ Maloney's selectors have probably a down to about 6 or 7, about 18 or 19 players they're going to use. Big panel, but they're down to that. Athenry have the breeze, Paul.
So Athenry with the wind in this first half, all getting ready to go. Joe Rabbit, the man that will be marking him is Joe Jordan. He's one of the veterans from the last time that Camross won the Leinster Championship, the 76-77 period when they last won the Leinster Championship. But we're about to take now a Raw Naveen live here from Semple Stadium. So there it is, and ready to go with the All-Ireland Club Senior Hurling semi-final. A big day for Athenry. They would dearly like to win this. The referee, Michael Wadding of Waterford, do you know much about him?
His referee did a junior final. Go over and look at him. Brendan Keogh could have a big game today because Pascal Healy probably suit in midfield. Joe Rabbit has gone wing forward. Carl Moran has gone corner forward, and Eugene Thurles has gone full.
So Camross, it's Dollard with the ball. They have won the throw-in, and it's knocked away there, but it is still Dollard trying to win it. Brian Feeney is in there, so there is Pascal Healy. Camross on the attack, trying to get into the corner to Fint Lawler. Fint Lawler has it. Fint Lawler has it in the hand. He's looking for someone to give it to. Gives it out to the side. There again, it is Cuddy, Ray Cuddy. Ray Cuddy gives it out into the corner to Damien Cullerton. Damien Cullerton, left-handed from Cullerton, and the Camross man puts it to the left and wide. So the first attack came to the Camross men, but they put it wide, and as we say, in at... right half forward is Joe Rabbit, so that means there's a switch already. You were expecting that, were you?
Yeah, I'd say Paul, they played Galway and played very, very well, beat us at 6-7 points, like, and the Rabbit played well under the puck out. Be interesting, he's gone the far side with the puck out this time, young Cremens.
So Cremens gone towards Hanley's wing, but it's going to go in behind them, and again it is Camross. It is Francis Dowling who clears it out into Dollard. Dollard out in front, good early ball, tries to get it into Fint Lawler again. Fint Lawler trying to get away from his man. He's trying to put it into the corner, but back there Athenry are trying to clear it, and Hardiman, it's Paul Hardiman, gets it down the far side towards Brian Hanley. Brian Hanley in his own half of the field. Good low ball into the corner towards Morden. It's number 10, Cathal Moran. Cathal Moran has it. He's on the 21. He's to the left of the goal. He's trying to swing it now. Brilliantly blocked, and it's going to be cleared now by Jack Cuddy, and Jack Cuddy comes out for Camross. Athenry had a half chance of a score there. The ball's in the middle of the park. It is the Dowling lad, Ollie Dowling, who puts it further forward. Back there is Hardiman. Hardiman for the Athenryman. He has been dispossessed. Here it comes. Camross on the attack, trying to get into Fint Lawler. He's singing off the ball. It comes back luckily to Fint Lawler. Second time. Oh, he tops the shot totally. And then there is Jerry Kane. He doesn't look very comfortable under it. He's lost it. The ball is in. But back is Feeney, and Feeney in front of the goal gets it out. Athenry living dangerously. Gets it to Jerry Kane. Jerry Kane, right corner back position. Gets in a good clearance up towards Rabbit. Rabbit's going to get up nicking it. No, it's not, because back there is Francis Dowling. Francis Dowling for Camross, the halfback. He passes it out towards this side, towards the tall midfielder. That's Ollie Dowling. Ollie Dowling trying to whip it up forward. Oh, good play by Ollie Dowling. In, but it's going to go to the left. Will the wind hold it up? No, Jerry Kane says I'll clear it. He steps outside, left-handed, left out into the midfield area. It's gone all the way to Hanley. Hanley has it just inside its own half of the field. Drives a long ball in. Athenry on the attack, up into the corner. Galway have it, and it is with Donald. Donald in front of goal! Goal for Donald Morden, and a superb goal it was.
Great goal, great goal, great goal. Long ball down along the side. Kane give it in onto Hanley. Hanley long ball in. First real attack from Athenry. First ball, Camross seemed to settle better, but Donald Moran got it. There's no doubt about it that the two Morans have the legs in the two cornerbacks, and Clune as well. Donald got inside, carried right through, and stuck a great goal. Great start.
2.5 minutes in, the fields of Athenry are being sung down below us. The ball is in the middle of the park. It's Brian Hanley starting well. He whips it over towards Joe Rabbit. It's gone inside. Here's the goal scorer, Donald Moran. He's out on the half forward line now. He might get it, but back there, Camross. It is Jimmy. That's Seamus Moore who has it. Jimmy Moore tries to get it. In comes the centre back, Tommy Delaney. Tommy Delaney steps outside. Delaney has it from his own half back line. Low ball down into the corner, but back there it is well cleared and well done by Eamon Keogh. Eamon Keogh drives it down, but back here is Moore again, and Moore drives it further down in towards Fint Lawler. Fint Lawler, they're trying to find him all the time. Fint Lawler trying to win it. Brian Feeney knocks it away from him. It's come to Pascal Healy. Pascal Healy is whipped, and it is comes off Ollie. That's the midfielder Ollie Dowling for Camross, and the sideline cut is going Athenry's way. So Athenry have got the dream start. We're just 3 minutes and a half in, and Athenry, Niamh Weir from Athenry are a goal up.
Goal up, all right, Paul, but definitely like Camross has started very fast. One thing about the pitch, the ball is really flying. It might be a breeze, but that ball is flying. Pascal Healy's going to take this from underneath the old stand. He'll get in around the box. Right good line ball taker.
So Athenry have the win to their backs as it comes to, brilliant by Brian Higgins. And it's high and it's gone to the right. It's going to go to the right and wide. But Brian Hanley had the chance there. It was Hanley who got it, but he drove it to the right and wide.
Yeah, Paul, like when they're outside, it's a nice breeze. But we'll have to drop it a little bit sharp because, like, definitely Eugene Clune and the two Morns inside are quite dangerous. But we'll offer the sharp ball.
So Brian Hanley has started well, hasn't he? Left or forward?
Yeah, he's playing well. Played very well against Galway 2 weeks ago.
So here is the keeper, Tim Lowry, driving it out left-handed. It's a good one into the wind. It's a huge, and up goes Brian Feeney, but it's going to be knocked out. Trying to get it out is Brian Higgins, but it is still not clear. They're still trying to win it. Brian Higgins a second time, a third time, but it's Pascal Healy who has committed the foul, and the free is going Camross's way, and the man is going to come out to take it is Joe Dollard. He has been there, it's marksman all through, and Dollard is going to place it on the ground, and just looking, he's about about to take it outside the 50-yard line, and he is trying to set it up now. He's trying to dry the hurley, and they had difficulty with that in the match earlier on. He drives it to the left. It's going left. It's kept in play. It's dangerous on the edge of the square, and the ball has come out, and back there was Jerry Kane. Now it's on the far side with Hardiman. Paul Hardiman trying to get it out under all kinds of pressure from BJ Cuddy, but the free is coming at the right way, but there was danger for a moment there.
Danger there for a moment, just a little bit of hesitancy. They wouldn't want to hesitate because that ball is bouncing, like it might be wet, but God, the pitch is in great condition as regards the ball flying. The half forward line want to settle down a small bit. Joe Rabbit, Pat Higgins and Brian Hanley just pulling a little. He's just working in a bit more to the full forward line. Nothing really, there's only two balls yet going into the full forward line.
So here is Jerry Kane with the puck over towards Rabbit. He's trying to pick out a Rabbit with more, but it's not going to go in between them. Pascal Healy is beaten here by Ollie Dowling. Brian Higgins does very well. Brian Higgins on the second attempt might get it. He is under all kinds of pressure there from Seamus Moore. Higgins does well to get it down. Rabbit has it now, right at forward position. Early ball, very early, great score. Superb score from right half forward by Joe Rabbit, and that's just what he needed. The Athenry lads are leading a goal and a point and no score.
Great score. Rabbit picked up that ball about 50 yards out. Great turn, great over the ball. Great tackling by Healy and Brian Higgins. There's no doubt about it that the right forwards just looked that little bit sharper to get the ball in. But as I said, like, they haven't got that much ball up. And the Laois goalie, Tim Lowry, is pucking a good ball against the breeze. But that's gone out over the line.
So he pucked it a good distance, just to the halfway line, but he got it out over the far sideline, and the far sideline cut is going to be taken by Paul Hardiman. So Paul is going to place it just in front of the presentation podium on the far side here in Thurles, as he's going to put it in. Tommy Delaney has pulled back to try and cut out the danger, but it goes towards Ollie Dowling. Ollie Dowling, the midfielder for Camross, gets it to Hanley. Hanley has it. Hanley in the middle of the park. Hanley gives it to Pascal. No, it's Brian Feeney. Brian Feeney, left-hander from Brian Feeney. It's a huge one, but it's going to go to the left, and it's gone wide. So that ball has gone wide. Just to give you the full forward line, the two Morns are in at a full forward. Donald got the goal on one side, Cahala with the other one. So that's a full forward line, and Eugene Clunan is in, and a number of 14. So that's how they have lined out. And Athenry actually have three wides. While they have a 1-1 on the scoreboard, they have hit three wides. Camross yet to hit one as the ball is pucked out. It's pucked out by Tim Lowry. It's a good puck out, but the free this time is to Camross from the middle of the park.
Yeah, it's again Pascal Healy did a small bit of pushing before the ball came down. They want to keep getting to the ball because, like out in Thurles, Paul, it's all about getting to the ball first. Whoever gets there first has at least a chance of getting a free. It's just going around the house again, like from Oliver Dowling. He'll try to lob it in around the place.
So here is Ollie Dowling. He might try and get in under Matt Collier. He's going to a left and he strikes it from the middle of the park. It's not a good one, and brilliant, beautiful bit of play there by Brian Higgins. Brian Higgins, left-handed. He cut it in the paw and he drove it down. But out comes Donald trying to win it there ahead of Jim Scully. It's coming over to this side. Scully got the nicking. Joe Rabbit has it right at forward position. Will he try and barge inside? No, he's delivering very early ball today in to Donald Moore. Donald Moore has it top of the. It's Clunan actually. Clunan. It's one of the Morns. It is, they were switching so quickly. It is Clunan indeed, and it's a tremendous score by Clunan, and he puts it over the bar almost from an impossible angle.
Impossible angle to most people, but not to Clunan. He's a great hurler, there's no doubt about that. Rabbit gave a lovely ball right down long to the corner. Even though Clunan scored from the corner flag, Cathal Moore was roaring inside in his own. There's no doubt about that, and right forwards would have better skill, I would think, than the Camross backs, but like Camross won't give in without a fight, and like they have a strong breeze.
So Clunan moved very sweetly there, wearing number 15, but of course he's in now at full forward as the ball, Brian Feeney, falls from his hands. It's driven further in. Here come the Camross men. Ollie Dowling has it. Ollie Dowling has it, and he has been fouled by Brian Higgins, and the free is going Camross's way, and the man who's going to take it is Joe Dollard. Joe Dollard right straight in front of the goal, but he's hitting into a strong wind. This could be dangerous hanging around the square.
Yeah, so far, Paul, like neither Brendan Keogh or Pascal Healy midfield have really got the grips of the game. They want to start getting grips. Everywhere else they're doing fine, but they are being beaten there so far.
So into the wind, it looks straight to me, and it's gone high and over the bar, and that's the first point to Joe Dollard for Camross. So it is Camross have a 1 point now on the board, but Athenry have 1-2 after Eugene Cloonan's tremendous score. But Joe Rabbit is letting the ball go very early today.
Yeah, the first 2 balls he got very early. That was a great score by Dollard. Like, he was out about at least 55 yards against a strong breeze.
This is coming down towards Rabbit again. Rabbit's going to put up the paw. Ollie Dowling has gone back to shadow him, knocks it away from him. Gets it away to Pascalili. Pascalili into the space. Back there is Delaney. Tommy Delaney has it. Centre back. Tommy Delaney only hits it straight at Rabbit. Rabbit has it. Rabbit tries to get it inside. Has difficulty under all kinds of pressure from Seamus Moore. Jimmy Moore trying to beat him. Moore, and in there is Tommy Delaney. It is hell for leather there just on the 50-yard line. No one tried. Brendan Keogh tried to whip it on the ground. It's on the ground. No one getting it. Pascal Healy one-handed. Pascal Healy one-hand 1-2 because it comes to Ollie Dowling. Ollie Dowling has it in the middle of the park. He's gone on a run for Camross, trying to get back, puts a Keogh to ground. It's a huge strike from the midfielder. Gets it in towards Fint Lawler, top of the left. Fint Lawler comes off the Athenry man, and the Athenry man who puts it out is Eamon Keogh, and that means that there is a 70 to Camross, and Camross are fighting with great gusto.
Yeah, they won't give him without a fight. It's important, Paul, that both Athenry midfield and half forward line work the ball through, because I think that's the strong part of Camross' team. Their half back line is tough, midfield and half forward line. If the boys can get the ball into the 2 Mourns and Clooney in full forward line, they're very, very dangerous. But even though Athenry have scored 1-2, there's very little ball going in.
So here we have it, the 70, the 65 metre is from Ollie Dowling. Ollie Dowling, he topped that, but he's put it in now, and it's going in dangerous in around the square. It's gone all the way to the net. It's a goal for Camross. It's gone all the way to the net. Perhaps one of the forwards will claim it, but it went all the way to the net from Ollie Dowling. When he went to lift it the first time, he didn't get it. He had to try it a second time.
Yeah, if the ref was watching closer, that shouldn't have been taken at all. He went to lift it and missed it, and went to lift it again. He got away with it. Went in around PJ Cuddy. They just pulled and got into the net. Great comeback by Camross.
So the ball is in the net, so it's gone 1-2 to 1-1, and it is Camross who are trailing by a point as Tommy Delaney gets it out over towards the side. Higgins, he's in the right half forward position of trying to put her in. It's a high one in, but back there is Delaney again. He's having a good game at centre half back. Delaney tops his clearance, but he gets it to Dowling, the man who sent that ball in that ended in the goal. Ray Cuddy gets a touch and only gets it as far as Brendan Keogh. Athenry have it all to do. It's with Feeney. Feeney gets it over to Hanley. Hanley has it centre half forward position. Brian puts it in, a high one in towards Eugene Cloonan. Eugene Cloonan with Joe Jordan. Jordan and Cloonan, the ball's coming out. Eugene's going to get her. He's on the 21. He steps a yard or two further out. He gives it into Pat Higgins, a free, because Cloonan was taken out of it, and the man who's going to go into the book is Tommy Delaney. I didn't see what happened because it happened off the ball. I saw Cloonan hit the deck, and it looks like Tommy Delaney's going to enter the referee Michael Wadding's notebook.
He'll have to enter because there's a real rate tackle. Cloonan gathered the ball. Everyone thought he was going to shoot himself. Gave a lovely hand pass across to Pat Higgins, and Delaney kept coming in with a late tackle. Cloonan will be all right, and he should put this over the bar.
So Michael Wadding just admonishing there the Camross centre back. That's Tommy Delaney. So the free is to Athenry, and Eugene himself will take it. Eugene is starting well. He's wearing number 15, and with the 2 Mourns looking so similar, of course, Eugene, they're all black helmeted in the inside line. It really, Eugene is wearing number 15, but he's operating in at number 14. He's in at full forward, and he's going to take this one in the semicircle right in front of the goal. It looks almost like the soccer one as he steps here in Thurles. He stands over, he's straight in front of the goal, and he puts it high and over the bar, and at no stage did I think he was going to chance his usual trick and go for nearly goal.
Yeah, well, it didn't come too fast to him. Like, he had to get up at the ground, and they're all gone back in, but you can bet your bottom dollar if he tries, he could try one, like, if he gets a chance. Leash are back, right, Camross are right back in the game again, you know, at that goal, like, but they were very fortunate, Paul, because definitely he fouled the ball before he took the free. That's the look of the draw, but I still think Athenry are good enough to win this game.
But the score stands. Athenry have a 1 goal and 3 points. Camross have a 1-1, all to play for. And of course, Athenry playing with the wind. There's an injury down to the left. I was wondering what the goalkeeper was a little bit slow and hesitant in pucking it out. That's Tim Lowry. But the man, it looks like Ray Cuddy was the man who was injured, but we'll have to wait and see. He is back and ready to go. So here comes the Camross keeper, Tim Lowry. He puts it out. It's a high one over the far side. He put the last one out over the sideline, but it has got caught there by Ollie Dowling, having a great game. Puts it in early, tries to get it into the corner, into Cullerton, tries to get into Damien Cullerton. The balls are coming out. Feeney does well. Ball out over the far sideline. The sideline cut is going Camross's way.
Yeah, Paul, they'll have to get to grips with midfield because definitely, he's pucking a good ball against Tim Lowry's pucking a good ball now against that breeze. Maybe it isn't as strong down there as we think, Paul. But he's getting right up to midfield, and they are winning the dual midfield so far.
Yeah, Ollie Dowling's hitting an awful lot of ball. I mean, he's been in the commentary all the time, really, and he is in the middle of the park. He's doing a lot of damage. The sideline cut, it's hit in, but Brian Feeney does excellently. Sweeps it up like a centre-back should do, but hits it only to the man who took it, Francis Dowling. Francis Dowling steps in inside one challenge, gets it to Tommy Delaney. Centre-half forward position, drives a low ball in. Feeney again cutting it out, really a sweeping roll, but he runs into his own man, has difficulty. The ball, Fint Lawler is in there, the ball is hooked out as far as Pat Higgins, back in his own offence. He whips in it down past his own man. Back coming is Francis Dowling, the Camross man. He's in the centre-back position, tries to get by Donald Moran, kicks it out towards the far side. Over there is Scully, Jim Scully, the corner back, but he's out in the half-back line. He only gives it away to Pat Higgins. Can they get it in early? Because Cloonan is roaring for it inside. It's coming towards Cloonan. Cloonan has it. Cloonan, can he skip by his man? He decides to go for his own score. Cloonan over the shoulder and left and wide, and he is claiming that it went over the bar, but it went to the left and wide. But he moved sweetly, and Eugene mightn't be the fastest man that ever put on shoe leather, but he should be faster than Joe Jordan, because Joe Jordan is no spring chicken.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Anytime the ball goes in fast for Florida, they're very dangerous. Even they could take them on, Paul, because they have the legs in them lads. Even Eugene there, he's over his shoulder. He could have settled on it because he had him well beaten.
Joe Dorn is a great full back indeed. He's played for many years with Camross, has given great service to them, but he is in the 40s, so the ball is driven down here. It is with Morton Donald, the goal scorer, trying to skin his man. Back there is Scully trying to take it from him. Donald as well. Donald has it in the paw. He's going for his own score. It'll be super. It is super. Brilliant score by Donald Moran. That's 1-1 from Donald Moran, and he's playing extremely well. 1-4 to the Athenry men, 1-1 to Camross.
Can't emphasise enough. If Pascal Healy and Brendan Keogh, half back and half forward, and as well, could get the ball in fast into full forward line, they've beaten them in there. But what's happening outside, Paul, is they're not getting in fast enough. Anytime the ball's going into the full forward line, they've nearly scored. It's just not getting in there often enough or fast enough.
So here is Camross again. They're playing into the wind, and they are trailing Athenry with that 3-point advantage. Here comes Tim Lowry. Tim Lowry into the wind. It's a good puck out. It goes past halfway. He'll have a super one with the wind, we'll expect, as the ball is dug out on the far side. Here is Dollar trying to win it, but back there is Brian Feeney. Hurling with great gusto, gets it back to John Feeney, the brother, and left-handed drives it out down towards Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins going to put up the paw. Higgins has got it in the paw. This is good from Athenry. Gives it into Brian Hanley. Suicide ball. Gives it only to Seamus Moore. Seamus Moore drives it down, but gives it to Tommy Delaney. Tommy Delaney, centre back for Camross. Drives it across. Brian Higgins going to run for this one. Brilliant by Higgins. Higgins down in front of his man. He's come down in front of us in the commentary position. He has the ball. Kicking her up in the stick. He drives it in as far as Seamus Moore. Moore just takes it. Moore's a good hurler, but he only gives it to Brendan Keogh. A lot of mistakes. Brendan Keogh looks. He puts it in. It's going on. Cloonan's there. Little nudge. Cloonan turns his man. Dives. Looks for the penalty. Play on, says the referee. It still isn't cleared. It is over on the far side. Cathal Moran trying to get it. Cathal Moran trying to dig it out. The free is going in, and Cathal Moran has won a free. But Eugene took the dive. It looked very swan-like, but it didn't impress the referee.
Not really, no. He's been held all right. But Cathal Moran did well there, tried to flick it back. There's no doubt about Paul. The two Morans and Eugene Cloonan have to beat that full back line. Just get the ball in faster. Eugene should put this over the bar again. 3 points up. Hopefully after this till before. But Athenry just want to settle down a bit more, because Camross will be quite happy. But don't think it's in the second half, Paul. You'll find it against the breeze that Pat Higgins and the half forward will actually come into the game more, because they'll have to come further, and it could actually suit the forwards. So
Athenry with a 3-point advantage as Eugene steps over this one, puts it high, and puts it through and over the bar, and that means that they have extended their lead now, because Athenry have a 4-point advantage. 1-5 to the Athenry men, 1-1 to Camross. We're 17 minutes in, coming to you in association with Bussern. Might be a good time to say hello to all the people in Boston listening to this broadcast at Joe Morrissey's home in Watertown. To lads like Mike Hession, Brendan Morrissey, Pat Flaherty, Joe Beattie, Joe Cahill, Francis Fahey, Pat Concannon, all from Athenry. Hello, and you'll be happy that you're leading at the moment. Great catch by Ollie Dowling in the middle of the park for Camross. He's having a blinder, left-handed from him, from the puck out in towards Crimmins, over the bar. That's a superb score. Absolutely brilliant from Ollie Dowling from the middle of the park. Took the puck out into the wind and over the bar, and Thurles is not a short pitch.
No, it is not, and that midfield for Athenry, I don't know, they'll have to do something about it.
I think they still haven't switched it. No, it's still as it is, as Crimmins drives it out over towards the side, over Brian Higgins. Rabbit as well to catch it in the paw. Rabbit, early ball again over towards Brian Hanley. Brian Hanley trying to whip it. Hanley misses the first tip. He might get it. He's having difficulty. Has it in the paw. Centre half forward position. Puts it in towards Eugene. Eugene in front of the goal. Goalkeeper has it. He's on the ground. He's bad clearance. It comes out to Dowling. Francis Dowling. It's gone over there to Cuddy. Jack Cuddy has it. Jack Cuddy, right corner back, clears it. Only gets as far as Brendan Keogh. Brendan Keogh hooked by PJ Cuddy. PJ Cuddy hasn't come that much into the game, but he's come back to help out the defence, and Get up, says the referee. He's having none of this diving today. Wadding tells him to get up. The ball is going to be placed on the deck, and the man who's going to take it is Tommy Delaney. Looking at the stopwatch, 18.5 minutes gone. 1-5 to the Athenry men, 1-2 to Camross. 3 points in it, and Camross will be happy enough into that win to be only 3 points behind.
Eugene Clune was in hard luck that time, Paul, not to get a 21. He was definitely brought down that time.
So the ball is over, very close to the far sideline. It's coming. Brian Feeney has it. Brian Feeney comes and he takes it. Feeney clears his lines down towards Hanley. Hanley has it. That was a good ball, but brilliantly blocked and cleared by Francis Dowling. Camross have it with the man again. It's Ollie Dowling. He's absolutely everywhere. But out comes Higgins, Brian Higgins. In the centre half back position, he's the right half back, but he gets it down to the brother Pat. Pat has it. Can he step inside his man? Has difficulty. Is a man coming forward. Brian Hanley has it. Brian Hanley, left-handed from Hanley, straight. No, it's gone to the left and wide. They are getting the chances, but they're driving them wide.
Bad miss there now. Great ball by Pat Higgins, but if they could keep driving the ball down, it's important though, Paul, that Brendan Keogh and Pascal Healy get to grips midfield, because definitely puck out is coming there. Tim Lowry is pucking good puck out. They're winning the ball there. If they can get on top there, they'll win the game, but they just have to get the grips in it.
5 wides the Athenry men, but they're leading by 3 points. 1-5 to Athenry, 1-2 to Camross. As he puck out Tim Lowry, I don't know what he was doing there. We were expecting it to come out, but he's going, of course, with the gale into his face. He's not too willing to. It's stronger now because it's just landing about halfway. He's not going to get it over. In comes Hardiman. Paul Hardiman. Paul Hardiman has it. He drives it in towards Cahill. Cahill Moran trying to get it. Cahill Moran, but he's beaten by Jack Cuddy. It comes to Joe. Joe's first touch is bad. Second touch is bad. Joe has difficulty. Joe Rabbit has difficulty getting it up. But Pat Higgins comes in and saves the day, and Higgins has it. Higgins, right half forward position, very, very tight, puts it into the space. It's a good ball. Into Cahill Moran, it'll go inside. Eugene trying to get it, but Jack Dorn is back there. Joe Dorn gets it out, clears his lines, but there is a foul there on Donald Moran, and Donald Moran doing very well, and Tommy Delaney's been spoken to. His name has gone in the book earlier on, so he's been spoken to because Donald has picked up an injury. We're gone into the last 10 minutes of the first half. 3 points between them, and Eugene Clunan for Athenry with a chance to extend their lead.
Yeah, he should score this again. Nice fast ball in. The centre back for Camross, Tom Delaney, has been very tough. He's been spoken to twice and booked once, and he's bordering on it.
So here we have it, Eugene Clunan with the wind behind him. He lifts and he strikes and he puts it straight and over the bar, and that means 4 points in it again. But it must be said that throughout this first half, Athenry have stretched their lead on occasion to 4 points, but Camross have always come back and tagged them back.
Next puck out is the vital one now, Paul. Pascal Healy and Brendan Keogh start lording in midfield and lashing the ball in. They're playing it short right, maybe a little bit too short at times. Want to get that ball in fast.
So here we have it. We're waiting for Tim Lowry. Tim Lowry's going to puck it out just to say to Tim and Bridie Joyce in America, Tom and Jim Egan, we're thinking of you here in Semple Stadium at Thurles. As a ball dropped up, Rabbit tries to go for it, but that Ollie Dowling, the man who is everywhere, the ubiquitous Ollie Dowling, gets it. He only gets it as far as Delaney. Delaney trying to whip it. In comes Higgins. Can Higgins get inside his man? Higgins has it. Leaves it for Hanley. There's a man free inside. It's Cahill. Cahill has it. Can he score? High from Cahill. Left and wide. That's a bad wide. A bad wide. And the score remains. Athenry have a 1-6. Camross 1-2.
That should have been a score. He got a beautiful ball in. Cahill Moran did a great ball in. And he could even have travelled, Paul. He was completely on his own. Wouldn't want to be missing them.
So here it is, a 1-6 to the Athenry men, 1-2 to Camross as Tim Lowry in the Camross goal on the Thurles end of the pitch. Drives it out. He's hitting the far side all the time. Out goes Paul Hardiman, knocks out of his hand, but still keeps it alive. Does a good ball in towards Eugene Clunan. He's hoping Moran will win it. The two Camross men have gone to ground. Moran is still on his feet, but which way is it going? Which way is it going? Is Michael Wadding going to decide? Is he going to penalise? He's blown the whistle. Is he going to throw it in? He's going to throw it in. It was a stalemate. Delaney's in there. Pat Higgins is there. Pat Higgins is ready to try and win it. Higgins' strength stands up. He gets it in towards one of the Morans. He's on his knees trying to get it up on his knees. The ball is coming out, and out come the Camross men. Camross trying to dig it out, really digging it out. Brian Hanley tries to, it's terrible stuff, but Delaney has it. Delaney has it at centre back. He only gives it to Brendan Keogh. Keogh, early ball. Another bad one. In there is Jimmy Moore. Seamus Moore has it. Seamus over that far side. Up goes Paul Hardiman. Hardiman has it, left-handed. It's a good ball in towards Clunan, trying to get it in the ball. The ball's gone free. It's a penalty, and Clunan has won the penalty this time. Joe Jordan is not happy with it, but it is a penalty stroke, and Clunan won it.
Yeah, there's no mistake about that. The early ball with Paul Hardiman. He's lucky that there isn't a few penalties before this, because he's getting to grips with Clunan, but just knocked him down. I think Clunan will go for a goal out of this. Now, I know PJ Malai might try and tap it over, but they are 4 up, but if they could stick this to put them 7 up. Knowing Clunan, I think he'll go for it.
So here it is, 3 men in the goal. You've got Scully, you've got Lowry. You also have Jordan, seems to be the third man to me that's in there. It is Jordan indeed, is definitely in there. The ball is being placed on the 21. The man is going to take it is Eugene Cloonan. Cloonan likes to rattle in it. Will he rattle it now? He lifts, he strikes it slow, and it's safe, and out they come. The goalie got a touch to it. It's with Cathal Moran. Cathal Moran jinking inside. Cathal Moran back towards Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins loses it. Pat Higgins has difficulty in 21. Back to Eugene Cloonan. Eugene Cloonan trying to dig his way out. High from over the bar from Cloonan. He redeems it because he puts it over the bar when he took the pass back. So that's 23 and a half minutes gone. And Athenry are extending their lead. 1-7 in the Athenry men. Camross are 1-2, 5 points in it.
That's the first time 5. It's very good there, Paul. It was a great shot and very well saved. But the big thing was that they still got a score out. Now, if Athenry can just keep stretching this lead, the goalie here is he's taken ages. I don't know what the ref is doing, but like he goes back and he stumbles and fools around with it.
So here he comes, he takes it now. Tim Lowry drives it out. It's a shorter one. Up they go, and Keogh tries to be the first two. We haven't seen much of Dan in the middle of the park. Keogh has it. Keogh has beaten his man. Keogh puts it into space. Over here towards Donald. Donald tries to win it. Donald, the man who got a goal on the point, has difficulty winning it. Takes it off his own stick. No, has it now. Hooked, well hooked by, it was Ray Cuddy. In there is Francis Dowling. Francis Dowling to Delaney. Delaney, Higgins does well to get back at him. Pascal is there now trying to win it. Pascal will want to win this one. Gets it forward towards Joe Rabbit. It's very tight, even though it's a big pitch. Joe Rabbit has it. Joe Rabbit on the he's on his feet, but the rest are on the ground, and in comes Michael Wadding. He says, come on, let's calm it down. What's he going to do? Who's he going to give the free to? Is he going to throw it in? It is. It's a throw in. Joe Rabbit's going there. So there is Seamus Moore, Jimmy Moore, and in comes Pascal Eade trying to get the left-handed swipe on it. Doesn't get it. It's Camross coming away with it. Comes to Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins centre half over. Gets it over towards Cathal. Cathal slips inside his man. Left-handed from Cathal. Over the bar by Cathal Morden, and that was an excellent score. Cathal put that one over the bar. That's 1-8 to 1-2, 6-point advantage.
Yeah, just stretching out. Cathal Morden is probably lacking from a real bit of confidence. Like he's a very good hurler, just a little bit more confidence, and a point that to bring him back into it. They're gone 6 points up now, and it's important just to keep driving on there.
So we're just looking at the stopwatch, coming in association with the Bussern. We're 25. We're in the last 5 minutes of the opening half as the ball is in the centre half back berth. And out comes Brian Feeney, the centre back for Athenry. He's going to clear his lines down towards Donald. Donald doing so well, trying to keep it alive. Does, but he's gone aground. The Camross men are tough. And out comes Dollard is back there doing all that work as he drives a good one down towards Fint Lawler. But it's gone inside to Matt Collier. No, it's Cullerton. Cullerton's bearing down on goal. Cullerton. Whoa, what a goal by Damien Cullerton. A superb goal by Damien Cullerton. He ran at the Athenry defence, left-handed, buried it in the back of the net, and we're almost 26 minutes in. 2-2 to Camross, 1-8 to Athenry.
You won't see a better goal than that. Came right crossing the far corner, caught a ball here underneath, travelled the whole way.
So the puck out. Camross right back into it. Ollie Dowling has it in the middle of the park. It's taken away from him. Knocked further forward by Ray Cuddy, but back there is Brian Feeney, who's had a very good game at centre half back. He drives it in towards Eugene Cloonan. Eugene Cloonan trying to turn his man. In there is Cathal Moran. Cathal Moran tries to get it. Higgins is trying to in there. It's still very difficult to play. The conditions not good. The ball is over with Brian Hanley. Left-hander from Hanley. Over the bar from Hanley. End-to-end stuff. It's tight now, and it's going to get tighter, I'd say, before this is over. We're 8 points for the Camross men. That's 2-2. But Athenry now have 1-9, that's 12 points. So Athenry at 12 points, 2-8, 4-point advantage.
Getting it very hard to pull away from them, and the breeze will with Camross second half. But I still think Athenry can win a ball because their forwards are very dangerous. But they want to let the ball a little bit go faster because Camross like it tough and hard.
So it's a 1-9 to Athenry, 2-2 to Camross as the ball is out in the middle of the park. It is Collier. He's moved out from full forward. That's Matt Collier, the captain. He seems to be out at centre half forward. First to react here, Donald Moran. Good whip into the brother Cathal. Cathal can't get it. The man who gets it out is Jack Cuddy. Jack Cuddy only gets it as far as Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins has it. Centre half forward position. Looking for someone to give it. Gives it to Rabbit. Rabbit has it. Rabbit trying to go through the middle. Rabbit's gone on a run. Left-handed from Rabbit. Over the bar from Rabbit. 1-10 to Athenry. 2-2 to Camross. And really all to play for. We're coming in the We're in the last 3 minutes of this opening half. We'll be going for news of the rally. We'll be going for news of a Galway Roscommon. We'll be going for news of a Galway Monaghan United. Also a Monavea taking on Connemara in that important junior rugby game. Lots to look forward to at half time, and of course the rally, but at the moment it's all happening in Thurles.
Yeah, Paul, Athenry have scored 11 points now to Camross is 4, and Camross have 2 goals. That's they're hanging in.
Here's Tim Lowry. Tim Lowry drives it out. He's driving it out the far side all the time. Paul Hardiman, Brendan Keogh's there. Brendan Keogh trying to win it. Stick's broken. It's tough out there, but the free is going Camross's way, and Camross have won it just outside the Athenry 70. The man's coming up to take it, I would say, is Joe Dollard. Joe Dollard is there, and he's in no rush. He's taking his time because Camross will be happy enough to go in at half time with the score remaining as it is. 13 points, 110 to Athenry, 2-2 to Camross, and here is Dollard. Dollard hits it. It's going to drop. It's going to be a dangerous one. Up goes Paul Hardiman does well to knock it out. He only gets it out as far as Collier. Collier gets it to Fintlawler. Fintlawler has it. Fintlawler trying to jink inside. Fintlawler puts it in and to the right and wide, and that was a bad miss really by Fintlawler, but the goal earlier on by Damien Cullerton was absolutely superb. He just ran up the left wing and he buried it in the back of the net as Crimmins puts it out. It's coming towards Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins with Delaney. It'll fall nicely for Brendan Keogh. Brendan Keogh in, and Cloonan's on the edge of the square. Cloonan, but the keeper has it. Lowry has it. Lowry does well. Lowry puts it out here, out over the sideline, and there's a sideline cut, and the sideline cut. Eugene Cloonan's having a word with the umpire, but it's a sideline cut, and the sideline cut is going Athenry's way. It's between the 14 and the 21. Down here on this side, Athenry have hit 6 wides. Camross have only hit 1, but it is Athenry who are playing with the strong wind. Pascal says, leave this to me. It's just, as I say, between the 14 and the 21. The Schlitter about to be placed.
Yeah, it'd be nice before half time if Athenry could tack on another score or two. I'd be interested to see, Paul, will the ref play any extra time, because definitely the Camross goalie can't play him. Of course, Tim Lowry has been fiddling around all day with the ball.
So here it is. Pascal throws a blue flag away.
He's capable of scoring this himself.
Here it is. It's an awkward angle. It's not a very good one. Gets it in towards Joe. Joe tries to stand on his feet, tries to get it up. He's under all kinds of pressure from Jimmy Moore. Joe and Jimmy Moore. Joe has won a free, and Joe is happy to have won the free. So can Athenry. We're in the final 30 seconds of this first half, coming to you in association with the Bussarden, as the man who's going to take it is Eugene Cloonan. And really, Athenry, if they get the score, it'll be good, but they have an awful lot of work to do before this is over.
Yeah, that's true, Paul. It's an awkward angle, but Cloonan is a very good free taker, and I expect him to put it over.
So here is Eugene. That's on the 21-yard line. He's going to place it on the deck. Here he's standing. Replaces it. He's awkward enough. Here it is. He's standing, just settling himself. He'll just tip it over if he can. He goes for the angle, and he's got the angle, and that's a good score, and that's a 111 to the Athenry men. 2-2 to Camross, and really all to play for.
We're up to 6 points again now, Paul. Just one more score by half time to go in quite happy.
Looking at the stopwatch, we're gone 22 seconds over the 30 minutes. The referee, Michael Wadding, is in the middle of the park. He looks at the watch. Taunora Dora and Love as the ball comes out. He's not going to blow the whistle. He's going to see who's going to win this one. I think Ollie Dalling's going to win it, but it's won by Pat Higgins into Hanley. Hanley in space. Hanley, left-handed from Hanley. A dangerous one in towards the... It's a goal! It's a goal from Hanley! Unbelievable! And we held our breaths because we just looked, and the goalkeeper, Tim Lowry, throws the stick back into the net. We held our breaths. We were looking at it, just going shaving, and the goalie let it go by him.
Paulie thought the ball was going wide. Cloonan ran in waiting for the break. No break came. The ball went into the back of the net. That's Athenry. That's really the winning of the game if they're going to win it now. Now they're gone 9 points up, and they should pile on into it just before half time.
Unbelievable goal. Incredible as Lowry. He just stepped aside, let her inside him. We couldn't believe it. Waited for the signal. The man pointed to the green flag. Athenry are leading 2-11 to 2-2. The ball's on the far side of the field. And it is with Dowling. Francis Dowling this time, the halfback. Far Camross. Drives a low ball in. Who's going to win it there? It's very tight. Brian Higgins out there is Fintlawler. Fintlawler into the corner. Back there is Jerry Kane. Jerry Kane right left corner back position, tries to step inside, has stepped inside, going into danger now. I don't want to clear it. He clears it over towards this side with the wind. Rabbit comes. Rabbit has it. It's half time, and we're on 31 minutes. We'll come back for all the news of the rally in just 1 minute. One sentence, Searle. 2-11 to Athenry, 2-2 to Camross. What do you make of it?
Well, Camross still in 9 points down, but I think Athenry will win because, like, against the breeze, you'll find that the forwards get more space. That goal was a tonic. They deserve that, because up to that, Camross only scored 4 scores really. They got a break really. That's, I think, 9 points. It's a great lead at half time, and I think Athenry are good enough to want to win this game.
So we'll bring you all the news in the second half. 2-11 to Athenry, 2-2 to Camross. Back to you with the Statoil Goal International Rally in Athenry. We go back to Kevin. The other game. Yeah, can you get it? Thanks very much. Thanks. Thanks. The right time, because as you speak. Camross are coming out on the field, and the reason we're just a little bit late actually starting, because Athenry have been out for about 3 or 4 minutes. They were freezing out there, and it came to such a stage that the Athenry defenders all went into a huddle to my right, and would you believe that the forward line ran back into the tunnel, and just as you were coming to us, you had a little bit of difficulty I think coming through to us there for a moment, but we're up and running now. But they actually ran into the dugout and were hiding from the elements, sheltering maybe a better word than hiding from the elements in the dugout. No changes I can make out on either of the sides. They're just out because Camross have a number 18. Just looking, Brian Moore seems to be in, so we'll see where he is coming in. He looks to be coming in at midfield actually for George Dan. Now I can't swear to that, but that looks like it. So it looks as though Brian Moore is in at a midfield. So it is Camross who have rung the changes at midfield, and Michael Wadding about to start the second half. Cyril.
Yeah, they call him in there half time. You know, Dan might have got a rattle at first. It wasn't really in the game, but the other lad midfield, Oliver Down, is playing very well. Pascal Healy and Brendan Keogh will have to up it now, because get the grips the first 10 minutes especially.
Well, it's on, and Athenry are attacking, and boy, it's cold. Oh, it's a great pull. It's gone inside towards Cloonan, but Cloonan might lose out. It'll come again towards Cathal Moore tries to win it, but it's coming out towards this side. Here we have Paul Hardiman. Paul Hardiman trying to keep it alive. It goes off a Camross stick, and there are sheets of rain, literally sheets of rain, just passing down here in front of us. We're just 21 seconds into this second half. Athenry leading 2-11 to 2-2, and really, if you were to call it now, sir, it's a very early stages, but I still sense Athenry will have to fight into that gale really to keep this lead.
They will, but a good score against this breeze. Lovely ball here by Moore going right across.
So Moore drives it across, but back there Delaney misses his touch. In there is Pascal Healy trying to win it. So is Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins, Delaney. It'll come out to Delaney says leave it to me. Delaney has it. The centre back. Great block there by Donald Moore. Donald Moore going back after Jim Scully. Jim Scully whistles along the ground. Gets it to Dollard. We haven't seen all that much of Dollard. Great shoulder by Brendan Keogh. Foul, says the referee. Brendan Keogh says it was no free. I mean, he did hit him hard, but I didn't think it was overly dangerous or anything.
Dollard didn't see him coming to shoulder, but the thing is that Dollard's gone down. I'd say he'll be alright, just got a hard rattle. But the thing is the free's going to be coming down. Dollard still hasn't moved down there. He didn't expect it to come in that way, the way it came, and he looks very shook.
So it is, because to be fair to Brendan Keogh, he just went in with the shoulder. It was absolutely above board, but Dollard is still on the deck, and the medical people or the stewards from the camera side are coming in, and they're being called in there by Michael Wadding. He did take a heavy knock. It was shoulder to shoulder. It was sheer man-to-man stuff, but as you say, Joe Dollard wasn't expecting it. Just to maybe get a resume now, the lads, it must be very hard. I mean, we're finding it hard up here to stay warm. It must be hard down there.
Yeah, Paul, I'd be worried about Joe Dollard. I just hope he hasn't swallowed his tongue or anything, because usually Joe is a good campaigner, and all the boys are calling out now. I hope he's all right.
So the stretcher is being brought out now. Please God, everything will be okay. The medical people are looking at him there. I mean, he is just some of the Athenry lads in just inquiring about his welfare. So hopefully Joe Dollard, who has been a great servant to the Camross side, I think they're going to put him actually on the stretcher, has been prepared. And the rest of the lads are trying to stay warm. All the time the change has been made. George Dan has gone off. Dan is spelled with D-A-N-N-E, and the man who's in is Brian Moore. Maybe he's a brother of Jimmy Moore, who's a good wing half back, but they're all in trying to give some kind of a medical aid, and the medical people are in there. I hope Joe Dollard is okay, a great servant. They're taking the stretcher away. They have moved it away. We're just waiting to see. He's sitting up now, so thanks be to God. The number 11 is sitting up. The Athenry lads running around. Athenry haven't changed their force at all. Now, we were saying that Athenry were having difficulties in midfield, and yet it was Camross that changed the midfield. Are you surprised at that?
Oh, well, Dan hadn't done that much, but definitely they were on top midfield, because the puck out from Tim Lowry was reaching midfield. Any attack that came really came from there. But I'd expect Pascal and Brendan Keogh to come right into it, probably against the Gale more than ever. I just hope that Dollard is all right, because he's been a great servant, not only to Camross but to Laois. He seems to be up straight now at the moment. I just hope, I was worried there, probably might have swallowed his tongue. He's on his feet. He's a good bit of stuff.
He is a great bit of stuff, and the referee is just talking to him, and of course he will want to continue on. But he's talking to the referee. Michael Wadding's there, Pat Higgins is there, and yes, sir. Yeah,
it's one of those things as well, Paul, at half-time. Again, with the breeze, PJ Cuddy's gone in and edge of the square. Now, he is going to be tough. There's no doubt about that around there. And Jerry Kane there's only one way. You want to be in tight and grapple hard at him, because there'll be nothing fancy with him around the place. So, but Jerry Kane seems to have come out here. He isn't in actually in the square at the moment. Cuddy seems to have gone in, and Paul Hardiman seems to be the man that's gone in with him. The ball is dropping in from the free, and it's gone to the left and wide, because that free was awarded, but it was driven with the
I mean, you just want to be here with the wind to the left and wide. You want to be here to see the sheets of rain. It is unbelievable. I don't remember being up here in this commentary position. We've been here many a time, sir, with these kind of conditions.
Well, Athenry at the moment are facing the wind and sheets of rain coming on top of them.
So it's 2-11 to Athenry, 2-2 to Camross. A bad enough puck out, it's low, it's towards Pascal. But in comes Brian Higgins, does well. Gets it low, but he doesn't get in the puck. Paul Hardiman does. Paul Hardiman, it skins all the way in. It is one of the Morans. Dolan trying to win it. Dolan trying to dig it out there, but the Camross man has gone aground. And Camross seem to be good at that. That if the ball, they will kill the ball dead. It is almost like a rugby maul at times, the way they do it.
Yeah, they're killing the dead ball. They're making sure that there's nothing slipping through and the referees let them wear it. If Athenry could just get another score.
So Seamus Moore trying to win this one. Moore tries to get it out, gets it out to the midfielder, Ollie, and that Ollie having a great game, Dowling, but it is Ray Cuddy who's trying to win it, but now it is Pascal. Pascal drives it in over towards Cahill. Cahill leave it to me, says Eugene. Eugene has it, left half forward position, trying to slip inside his man. Eugene on the left hand, high from Eugene to the right and wide from Eugene Cloonan, but at least Athenry were keeping it very far forward, and it must even be hard to hold on to the hurls, because I saw you with John Cody running around today in your match with the towel actually drying the hurls for the lads.
Yeah, and it wasn't half as bad as this. There's no doubt about it. The hands are slippy. Watch this puck out.
So here is Tim Lowry with the wind. Oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. Almost down. It's gone into the full forward. It's gone into the full forward. Collier has it. Matt Collier. He's taking a bit of a knock, but he has the ball in his hands. He's trying to burrow his way, tunnel his way through. Referee, what's he going to do? Throw it in again. We're having a lot of throw-ins because, as I say, Camross killed this ball dead.
That long ball, Paul, it's important that the half-back line draw back, get right underneath it. They had to put their bodies underneath. That time to let it hit the ground, went right away into the full forward. They can't afford to do that.
So Wadding's about to throw it in. Dollard is there. Brian Feeney is there. Dollard is up and rearing to go. He might win this ball. He may not either because the ball is stalemate. The rugby analogy mightn't have been all that wrong. Brian Feeney hooks it out a little bit. Keogh hooks it out a little bit more. Dangerous enough. Paul Hardiman tries to keep it alive. Hardiman keeps it further forward to Brian Hanley. They shoulder one another. Hanley has it. He's back in his own half-back line. Into the wind, drives it down. But back there is Tommy Delaney, the centre back, and Delaney has it. Delaney drives it over the far side. Oh, good catch by Brian Higgins. And Higgins is having a good game. He drives it up further. Cahill tries to drive it further. Pat Higgins. Oh, but Delaney doing very well at centre back. Again, killing the ball, stopping it on the ground, keeping it and doing extremely well there was Tommy Delaney. He's won a free. It's right in the middle of the park, and if they get a hold of this, it could be dangerous again.
Yeah, I think you go from a score from this one. Like the breeze, if he just hits it, floats it in, the breeze is probably carried over. But Athenry want to be careful that it doesn't dip into the net. Anything, point is okay, but not a goal.
So here is Tommy Delaney. We're 6 minutes into the second half. He goes for the short one. Not a very good idea, I think, myself, because it may be coming out. Ray Cuddy tries to win it. Ollie over steps it. Back there is Brendan Keogh. Brendan Keogh tries to have it. It's with Dollard. Dollard has a centre half forward position. Dollard, dangerous one. Crimmins, it's in the net. Came off Crimmins' hand. It's in the net. And Camross are back in it. They have 3 goals. 3-2 to Camross. 2-11 to Athenry.
So one thing I said, Paul, not a goal, a point to be all right, but that brings them right back in the game. There's only 6 points in it. The only thing is that Athenry are getting a fair bit of ball up. That if they could just get a score at all, setting the ball, leave the likes of Donald Moore or Cloonan to start carrying it a small bit against that breeze.
That ball rifled into the net. It came off Michael Cribbins' hand. He's gone for a big one. It's only going to come to the half-back line, his own half-back line, I must emphasise. Joe Rabbit has it in his own half-back line. He drives it down, tries to get it to Donald. Donald skins his man. Donald's on a run. Donald's on the 50. He's heading towards the 30. He's heading to the 20. He's in near the 14. Puts it across. The goalie has it. Straight to the goalie. Lowry clears it. The Camross cheers are going up. The ball is... Higgins did brilliantly again. Knocks it down. It is with Joe Rabbit. Joe Rabbit right at forward position. Joe Rabbit left-handed over towards this side. Oh, here is Brian Hanley. Brian Hanley trying to win it. Hanley has it. Hanley steps inside his man. Hanley's on a run. Hanley thought about a run but decided to put her in towards Cahill. But it's 2 Camross men has it. Cahill, there's a man inside. Cloonan's roaring for it inside. It'll come to Donald. Donald has difficulty getting it up on the stick. He gets it eventually in the hand. Donald misses his hit and knocks it out towards here, over towards Brendan Keogh. Keogh has difficulty getting it. It's a very sticky. They're going back the way, but it's still Paul Hardiman puts it in now, over into the top of the right position. Cahill is over there. Cahill Moore gives it back, a bad ball, and Seamus Moore for Camross puts it out over the far sideline. But really, Athenry making it difficult for themselves. For to be fair, if they could have got it in, Cloonan had ghosted in behind the defence. But there's just those few points in it now.
6 points in the pot. It's important that Athenry get a score. Now they are against. There's no doubt about it. There's a storm blowing down here. And another Camross man is kind of looking for attention from the ref. I think it could be the full back or centre back, either Joe Jordan or Thomas Delaney. But like Athenry are they nearly had them split open there again. Coyne was on his own the inside.
So they're sharing the towel. And that's one thing about Gaelic games, I have to say, and I've always admired it in the game, is that they do share water and whatever. They could be fighting a minute earlier, but they'll always throw around the bottle or the towel on this occasion. And I think it's Dermot Monaghan. Monzi himself has gone down with the towels, and he'll be happy because they had a fortuitous enough Junior C win yesterday.
Yeah, they got a goal in the last minute against Kilbacon. Here's Joe Rabbit.
Here's Rabbit. Rabbit has it, top of the right. Rabbit trying, he's gone to ground. Rabbit has won a free. Done well to win the free, but the weather, really, it's unbelievable. It has affected the crowd, but there is a good crowd still here from Athenry and indeed from Camross. As Eugene Cloonan, Ivera Cui Jagger Green, Thashik Chaktamak on Kyancho Hogol, right there, about 21, 22 yards out. He's going to place it on the deck.
Paul, ball, like Michael Crimmins and goals, like a hard ball coming in, Paul, you'd have to use the hurl to block. Okay, in the lob, and the lobbing ones maybe your hand, but not on a day like this because there's wind, rain, and there's a deflection just too. This is a danger free for Cloonan. It's a hard one out there. If he gets this, to put them back up 7 points. It's an important free. It's an awkward angle. It's storming against him, but he is a good free taker.
So here he is. He got a good one, but he had the wind behind him in the first half. Awkward angle. Eugene high. Eugene, he goes for the white flag. The man in the white coat with the white flag, and he raises it, and he has a white hood today because it's so windy. He'd need all the conditions. And here, Lowry, it'll be a long puck out again.
Want to get behind this one now, Paul. Bodies behind and block.
So here it is. It is a monster one. It's going to come down in towards the centre forward. It might go further like the last one, but Feeney does well to half block it. Pascal gets it out further to Keogh. Keogh has it. Keogh, good ball into space. Donald a little bit slow off the mark, but he might turn his man. Donald does turn his man. Donald, but back there is Moore, and I was always been impressed by this Moore. The twice I've seen him, he's a good half back, but Higgins puts him to ground. Higgins tries to win it. That's Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins, it's tough out there. Seamus Moore comes in. Jimmy Moore, but it's Camross's men on the ground, but it's a Camross man. There's a little bit of Argy behind the ball, but it is a Camross who are coming away with it. Ollie Dowling tries to win it, but it's taken off him by Pascal. Lovely ball to Joe. Joe to Brian Hanley. Brian Hanley has space. Can he put it on the stick? He's on a run. Can he put it over the bar? Yes, he does. And that's a great score by Brian Hanley. And Hanley has put another little bit of daylight. It'll be 2-13 now to 3-2. Athenry leading. Yeah, Pascal put his strength in that, and Pascal Healy gave a ball into Higgins, a great ball onto Brian Hanley on the run. They have the legs and they have the pace, and they are probably better hurlers, but like, it's going to come down to determination a day like this. So we're 11 minutes into the second half, an absorbing game here, and absorbing, and they want to be absorbent here as the ball is down. Top of the right, back defending there is Brian Higgins, puts it out over the far sideline. Camross will have a sideline cut, and all that came from a puck out by Tim Lowry, a prodigious really puck out. He drove it the length of the field and went into the top of the left position, and Camross are going to have this one in around the square. Matty Collier is in there, and the ball is low. Not a good cut. The new man that's came in there, the substitute, that's another Moore. Brian Moore didn't get it, but Pascal Healy has it. Pascal Healy, a little bit of soccer on the ground, gets it out to Higgins. Higgins in space. Higgins puts it up towards Donald. Donald trying to turn his man again, but back there is Seamus Moore. Donald takes it off him. Donald keeps it alive. Donald's gone on a bit of a run. Moore has gotten back there. He has knelt down on the ball, and he has won a free, and this is unbelievable. But Camross seem to be very good at that. It's unbelievable, Paul, because they're doing this all day. Went down the ball, another free. That's again, I was going to say there's going to be another try. Went down, they got a free. Donald Moore is trying to just turn his man the whole time. Maybe he'd want to come a little bit in front and win a clean ball because he has the legs on him, and the ball is playing all the far side, new stand side. So the puck, Brendan Keogh puts up one hand, but it's good enough to get the ball. Knocks it down. He takes a heavy knock there. He's been put to ground. He's taken 2 heavy knocks. He's won the free eventually, and he comes out to claim the ball there, and he's leading by example. I say the Camross lads might have wanted to have a little nick in him because perhaps of the shoulder on Joe Dollard earlier, but he stood his ground there and comes away with the ball. Yeah, it's no harm that Brendan Keogh starts cutting into it. A lot of lads would say like he's lovely hurl, but maybe not enough kind of real steel. But by God, he's shown a bit of steel today, and he'd want to keep doing it as well. So here is Brian Higgins from right off back. He drives it into the corner, in towards Donald. Good, keeps it alive. But back there is Delaney. Delaney has it. Centre back Tommy Delaney trying to step outside. He's coming outside with the ball for the Camrossman. He has it. He drives it left-handed down towards the far side. A man coming out is Finn Lawler. We haven't seen all that much of him in the second half. He's way back in his own defence. He gets it to Dollard. Dollard puts it on the stick. Good skill by Dollard. Dollard's gone on a run for the Camrossman. Pascal's back at him. Dollard puts it into space. It's a good, dangerous ball down towards Cullerton. In comes Jerry Kane. Jerry Kane whips it, but PJ Cuddy was going to go for that one. The ball very near the sideline. It's still alive. Hanley has it. Hanley left-handed in his own half-back line up towards Cahill. Cahill tries to turn his man. He's gone. Can he score? skin him. He's gone on a run. He's trying to skin Cuddy. He's still on a run. Lovely run. He gets it inside to Rabbit. There's a man free inside. Can Rabbit find him? Rabbit puts it into Cloonan. Whipped by Cloonan. It is still not cleared. And out it is. Camross trying to dig it out, but it is a free out. And again, the Camross man falls on the ground.
It's unbelievable what they're doing. Well, fair play, their fierce determination. Great move up the whole way. Paul Hardman, Brian Hanley, Pat Higgins into Rabbit. Just couldn't do it fast enough. Rabbit give it to Cloonan. Now Cloonan tried to swing himself for a goal, but he should have actually got it across the Dolmore. Was his own side. Just one little step, just not right. But again, Paul, the Camross lads lay down. They got the free out.
So it is 2-13 to Athenry, 3-2 to Camross as the ball is dropping down the half back line. Feeney tries to knock it out. It is still on the ground. They're trying to dig it out there. The man who's Kyo with swings it doesn't get it. The substitute trying to win it, but we have it is the man who got the goal, Damien Cullerton. Damien Cullerton throws it back to PJ Cuddy. PJ Cuddy is really well marshalled today, and Hardiman has done well, and Hardiman clears his lines. Hardiman down towards Cahill there, but the ball will go. It is with Rabbit. Rabbit does well to win it. His jersey was being took there by Jack Cuddy, and Athenry have won a free, have the weather the storm. We're almost halfway through the second half. 2-13 to Athenry, 3-2 to Camross. Have Athenry weathered the storm?
Yeah, they're 8 points up and they are back in the game. They're playing very well actually at the moment. Athenry are really right into it and throwing the ball around. Even if they did a bit more, they might pay them off dividends well, because Paul, when they do open it up, there's no doubt about it, they have that little high level of skill. But as regards commitment and throwing themselves on the ball, as you said, Paul, like rugby players, Camross are putting their head in where you wouldn't put a hurl.
So there's an injury here. It must be to the Athenry men. I didn't see, because I was looking up the other side. There are towels being produced here, I'd say from the Canaries, and they've all shades and colours, but they're big towels, but they're to dry the hurls, and Monzi's doing a great job running around. He's a towel man today. Yeah,
it's Brian Feeney's got on. Let's say he's got a belt in his hand. He'll be all right. I'd say he want to get up and toughen into it again, but he will. The ref is actually going to play on.
So here is Kyo with the free from inside the 70. He drives it in. It's hanging in the wind, hanging in the air. Who's going to win it? It's an Athenry man. It is Donald high from Dog. Great score, absolutely. And Donald Moran has been good all day. He started with that whirlwind goal, but he got a good point there.
A chip and a lift without any catch over the bar. Great stuff. Feeney is all right, and Brian Hanley had moved back in the back. He's up again moving forward, and Brian Feeney is all right.
So 2-14 to the Athenry men, 3-2 to Camross as the puck out comes from Tim Lowry. It's dropping in. Feeney here with, it's gone inside them. The ball's still not cleared. It's with Matty. It's trying to get her in. That was the full forward. Matty Collier tried to get her in, but out comes Jerry Kane, and Jerry Kane gets it out towards Joe Rabbit. Rabbit has it in the middle of the park. Rabbit under all kinds of pressure from Seamus Moore. Rabbit whips it, low ball, early ball in. Carl tries to keep it alive. Donald is there. Carl gets it in the paw. Carl has Cloonan inside him. Here's Carl Moran into Cloonan. Cloonan in front of goal. Did he step? Kicks to the net. It's a goal, and it's kicked to the net by Eugene Cloonan, and that's 3-14 to Athenry, 3-2 to Camross, and it seems safe now.
Well, Athenry are a good side, there's no doubt about that. A great move up the pitch, great passing. Cloonan probably carried a bit, but he did the right thing, couldn't hit it, kicked it in there, but there's 1, 2, 3. That's what they should do. They have the pace, they should do it. Camross, it's just a matter if they can just hang in now for Athenry, let nothing through, down on top of Feeney again.
So he kicked it to the net. Henny ran a step or two. I'd say he was watching Pascal Healy in the county final. As the free this time is to Camross, and Camross have it. It's dead straight in front of the goal, but it is about 30 yards out. We're looking at the stopwatch. 17 minutes, only 13 minutes remaining in this game, and Athenry with the wind really into their faces now. And Camross have to go for a goal.
It's important, Paul, that the practice get their eye on the ball and block, because Dollard is going to go for goal.
Dollard high and over the bar from Dollard, but he wanted the free to be taken quickly, and Dollard put it over the bar, but what he wanted was that he would get a second chance at the cherry. He wanted a second bite at that particular cherry. The stopwatch reading is 17 and a half minutes gone in this second half. Athenry have 3 goals and 14 points. Camross have 3-3 as Michael Crimmins is going to puck it out for the Athenry man into the wind. Will he keep it low? He keeps it low enough. That's a better puck out. It's all up towards Joe. It falls to Pascal. Pascal along the ground. Back there is Delaney, Tommy Delaney, but again, driven in by Pascal. Mighty puck in towards Eugene. Can Eugene turn his man? Eugene's gone aground. Leaves it for Donald. Donald, second attempt. Great save by Lowry. It's whipped out by Dowling, Francis Dowling. Dowling gets it out to Brian. That's Brian Moore, the sub. He gets it to Delaney again, who drives it further down. Up goes. It is Kyo. Eamon Kyo gets it. Eamon Kyo trying to get it out. but the ball will come eventually to Paul Hardiman. Hardy's had a good game. He gets it over towards Pascal, great skill, over towards Brian Higgins. Leave it to me, says Joe Rabbit. Joe Rabbit or Brian Higgins playing ducks and drakes. Higgins, early ball in. This is great hurling now. Oh, great whip. This is hurling as it should be played. One Morden to the other. Morden has it. This is Cahill. He's got a man inside him. He turns out to Brian Hanley. Brian Hanley has it. Left half forward position. Who's he going to give it to? He gives it inside to Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins can't get it. Donald has it. He has Cloonan inside him. He can't get it into him. Cloonan has it inside. Cloonan turns outside high from Cloonan and over the bar by Cloonan, and that's at 3:15 to Athenry, 3-3 to Camross.
Athenry are showing great skill at the moment, firing around the ball, left ring, right ring, and tipping it back. I'm sure PJ Malloy and the boys are a bit thrilled because they're playing as it should be played. Just keep it open, and they have the skill.
So 10 minutes to go as the ball is dropping down. PJ Cuddy's going to go with Paul Hardiman. The ball's gone in behind them. The ball has gone to a ground. They're trying to win it there. It is PJ Cuddy. I thought he had it for a moment, but it comes to Damien Cullerton. Nicked away from him by John Feeney. John Feeney leaves it to Paul Hardiman. Feeney will have to win it a second time. The ball is kicked forward by Ray Cuddy, but it is Dollard does well to block down there. Dollard goes in and Dollard has won a free, and Dollard will want to take it quickly, and there's a Camross man down injured in behind.
Yeah, but Paul, the Camross man, Brian Feeney got the ball, was letting it up in his order hit and just jumped in and took a bell type, but it was fearless, but it was like it should have been a free out rather than a free in. Again, Paul, they'd want to just get their eyes on the ball, because a point really, while it'll keep Camross in the game, they're going to try a goal.
So Camross will be going for goal now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Athenry men in the goal. Feeney goes back. Feeney's name was taken there, just trying to catch it. That's John Feeney's name was taken there, and the free is going to be taken, and Dollard must go for goal. There's a little they're trying almost a wall in front of him. He hits it low, and it is on the goal line. It is on the goal line, but it's coming out. Paul Hardiman is the last man I saw touch it, but it was a man further in that got it out. Paul Hardiman trying to dig it out. It is with Moore. Brian Moore knocked away from him by Brendan Keogh. And Brendan Keogh, to be fair, has been where the action is today. Maybe not so much in the first half. 2 subs coming in for Camross.
Number 17, number 19, Paul, 2 at a time. The ref is going to hold it up. Camross now have thrown caution to the wind. That's 3 subs used.
So 17 and 19, Barry Keenan, that's the son of the manager. Frank Keenan is coming in, and John Dowling is coming in. So they've thrown it all into it, and it looks like Jim Scully as one man has gone off, and we want to see who the second one is.
Yeah, Donald Moore was turning him all day, but Donald Moore will turn anyone if he keeps getting that ball in front of him.
So here it is. It's poor enough one by Brian Moore, one of the earlier substitutes, and he had come in at half time for Dan, and we're just seeing who is gone off. The man who's gone off is Fint Lawler. So Fint Lawler has been called ashore, so he'll be disappointed with that. He seemed to threaten early on. Of course, he was injured for the Leinster final in the first half, but really ran out of it and was well marshalled, because the defence, okay, they've conceded maybe a goal or two that were of the fortuitous kind, because to be fair to Athenry, they've done everything, almost everything one could ask of them. We're 21 minutes, and I think that just for a moment we might be able to go to the rally just for a minute, but we'll stay with the match. We'll go to you, Kevin, for the rally, and join us for the match in a few moments. So Camross trying to drive it in. It is cleared out by Brian Higgins. Brian Higgins gets it out. Out comes it's a man himself, Joe, out in his own offence, gets it outside. It is Athenry still trying to keep it forward, trying to keep it alive, but Camross have it. It is Ollie Dowling. Ollie Dowling drives it in. It's a dangerous one. In towards Cullerton. Cullerton there with John Feeney. Cullerton's lost a stick. Out comes Jerry Keane. Thanks very much. We're 22 minutes into the second half, coming in association with the buzzer, and on this broadcast, Camross trying to set her up again through Ollie Dowling. Ollie Dowling drives it in, up go the hands, but it's gone over, going towards the end line. Jerry Kane's gone back there, the Athenry full-back. He drives it down the far side, over very close to the far sideline. It's gone over the far sideline. The sideline cut is going to go to Camross, and Camross have, as I say, thrown caution to the wind, really, with the score standing. Athenry 3-15, Camross at 3-3. Athenry really seem to have done enough. The stopwatch reading almost 23 minutes gone, second half.
Yeah, it's okay for Joe Raven to come down the field, but Paul, they really want to hold their shape, because there's no doubt when they get the ball up, they're quite well capable of scoring it. Let the backs do their job, they're well able.
Here's a sideline cut. It's a good one. Up goes Matt Collier. Matt Collier trying to put it inside. Collier trying to get it further in, but it's in front of goal. Crimmins does well. Takes it from behind him. The ball was dangerous there for a moment, but he gives it out again to the centre half forward, who puts it high wide, and the centre half forward was Joe Dollard. but Crimmins did well, but he almost left it behind him, came away with it coming across the goal.
Good save, Paul, but then he drove it right back out to a Camross man standing on his own. At the moment, Paul, just word coming through that there's a draw between Wolf Tones and between Cushendall.
Is that the final score? Have we got it? Was that the final score on the Cushendall Wolf Tones? No, at the moment the latest we have on that is that it is a draw between the Wolf Tones and Cushendall. Just double checking it because it's so much action here, it's hard to stay with everything. As it is coming out with John Feeney. John Feeney has a corner back for the Athenry man, drives it down towards the sideline, but it's gone out over the sideline. Brian Hanley couldn't keep it in play. And the sideline cut is going to the Camross man, and the man is going to take it is Jack Cuddy. Jack Cuddy seems to have moved further forward. He started at a right corner back. He is now at a right half back. So Cuddy takes it. He whips it down. Up goes Paul Hardiman. Paul Hardiman really hasn't given PJ Cuddy a smell of the ball today as the ball is driven over towards Joe Rabbit. Joe Rabbit gets it, but only Delaney is there. Delaney puts it further into Dollard. Dollard in front of goal, about 30 yards out high. Crimmins puts the stick up this time. He must have been listening to you, sir, and it clears it. He didn't put up the ball like he did the last time. He cleared that one over to Pascal Healy. Pascal Healy has it on the far side of the field. Taps his shot, puts it out over the far sideline cut to Camross.
Yeah, great save by young Crimmins that time. At least he did the right thing, because it's hard to catch a ball straight in there, Paul, because it's flying, the ball is wet, there's a storm behind any little touch. He blocked with his hurl, got his hand on, good clearance. Pascal should have done better with that ball.
So it's a bad sideline cut on the far side. Joe Rabbit might win it. Joe Rabbit does win it. It was a camera sideline cut, and Rabbit has won it. Rabbit has been put to ground. It's tough and it's tight out there. And I think it's Joe Dollard, and has Dollard won sideline cut from that particular incident. Play on, get up, Joe Rabbit, says the referee. Michael Wadding, and the sideline cut is going to be taken on the far side by Jimmy Moore.
Even though Camross are attacking, if this ball could come fast out of the defence, the whole Camross defence are going up the field, and at the right of open space.
So here's Higgins has it. Brian Higgins drives it out towards Jack Cuddy. Jack Cuddy tries to win it. Brian Hanley can't get it. It comes in. Brendan Keogh has it, but Brendan Keogh knocked away from him. Brian Moore is trying to take it off him. The substitute, one of the substitutes for Camross, but the man who keeps it alive is Paul Hardiman. Paul Hardiman drives it down towards Cahill. Cahill tries to put it further in. Foul, says the referee, and Francis Dowling has won a free for the Camross man. We're looking at the stopwatch. We're 25.5 minutes into the second half. Athenry with 3:15, Camross with 3:3, and of course Athenry will have wanted really to exercise the ghost of that game against Dunloy from 2 years ago, as the ball comes to right half back, and the man who has it is Joe Rabbit. He hits it left-sided over towards Cahill. Cahill puts a paw up, but it goes right by him, and the man who doesn't go by is Jack Cuddy, who puts it down. But here we have Pat Higgins trying to win it. Pat Higgins wins it for Brendan Keogh. Brendan Keogh, early ball. Jack came out. Joe Dordan came out, but the ball comes to Seamus Moore. Moore has awful difficulty. He has an acre of space, but he still gets in his clearance. The ball going up here. Collier trying to win it, but Brendan Keogh winning a lot of possession now. Keogh has it in the left back position, puts it up towards Hanley. Can Hanley win it? Back there is Cuddy. Jack Cuddy has it. Jack trying to win it. Hanley has taken it off him. Hanley just cannot get it in the paw. There, Ollie Dowling there was very free with the hurl, but he has won the ball as well, and he has gone into touch because the man who came in is Brendan Keogh, and I must say I've been impressed with Brendan Keogh, the way he's got let's say involved today.
He's got stuck in the second half, like it's no harm, because Ollie Down's throwing his way around. Young Handy was in hurl not to get a free there, but again, Paul, if they could just lash that ball in, because at the moment, like, the Camross are pushing out, you can't blame them, and there's acres of space, they're half back there and gone midfield, they're all pushed up.
So Athenry with 3:15, Camross have 3:3. The sideline cut is going Jack Cuddy's way in his own half of the field for the Camross man. He half tops it. The ball will come to Collier, the captain. Collier gets it in, but back there is Pat Higgins, the other number 11, and he drives it down. It's gone inside. Donald will have Carl has it. Carl in the left half forward position. Carl steps inside. He puts it across to Joe Rabbit. Joe Rabbit centre half forward position. Will Rabbit go on a run? Rabbit's on the burst. Rabbit, run Rabbit, and he puts it inside. He gives it to the other Morton, and that's a second goal for Donald Morton, and that's superb. Goal by Donald Morton. He buried it, and really he's had a tremendous impact on this game, but Rabbit did the right thing.
It was a great ball. First of all, it came up here, up into Carl Morton's corner. Carl caught it, tricked his man a bit, placed a diagonal ball up right across to Joe Rabbit. Rabbit caught, took them on, went in, gave a great ball into Donald Morton, stuck it in the net.
So the score is now standing. St Mary's have 4:15. Camross have 3:3. The ball is with the Camross men. It is one of the substitutes. He has lost it, and that was Brian Moore, and out it comes. Athenry have cleared their lines again. Brian Hanley has it, and Hanley is on a run now. He's gone by the 70. He's got Joe Rabbit inside him. The man, Moore, went to take him out of it, but he missed him. In comes the other Morton. That's Cahill, and Cahill and Donald, they're really jinking inside, and one must say that Peter Malloy really got it right the way he summed up that full forward line. I mean, let's face it, 4:15 at some score.
Yeah, but you see, Paul, Malloy has a lot of tape. He had the tape's got a Camross, and you where he was at all along. Okay, everyone knew like that maybe that Rabbit wouldn't be playing full forward. But like to put Coyne in the two Mortons in the two corners, he's probably going to give subs a run now, just to let them on. But like they have done some great hurling.
Yeah, he's brought out John Hardiman and Eddie Brady are coming out. Brian Hanley's coming off. I don't know who the other man is. Pascal Haley's coming off. We'll wait with the free. Eddie Brady will be glad to get the run as well, as indeed will John Hardiman. Here it comes. Cloonan puts it high, and Cloonan puts it over the bar. So it looks like the Galway FM sports crew will be heading to Crow Park on St. Patrick's Day with this Athenry team. And the whole of Athenry, it'll be lonely around the fields of Athenry on St. Patrick's Day this year.
Well, I've no doubt, Paul, this team is good enough to win All-Ireland. There's no doubt about that.
So it is Feeney. Feeney seemed to take a bit of a knock there as he cleared that ball. He just limped out of it, but still it is with Seamus Moore on the far side. Seamus Moore puts it down towards Brendan Keogh. Brendan Keogh has it, centre half back position for the Athenryman. Brendan Keogh left-handed over towards Eddie Brady. First one, Eddie has loads of time. Eddie, he's got that white togs on him now. He looks cleaner than anyone else. He's got the tight haircut. He's got the ball on the stick. He's left half forward and he puts it in towards the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper knocks it out. The ball has gone out for a 65 because the man who was quickest in there was Eugene Cloonan on the goalkeeper. And the score is standing. St Mary's have at St Mary's Athenry 4-16. Camross 3-3.
That's a great display. But that's Peter Malloy has great stuff at his disposal really, because like Eddie Brady's come on there, probably the fastest player in Galway, such if he gets open space. Terrible pace altogether. John Hardiman's come on, probably has suffered because of his versatility. We can bring him on anywhere as such. Like, and he's used PJ is down to 18 or 19 lads down at the moment. He knows what he's going to use. And like that score, Paul, on a day like this, 4-16, like it's a great score, and they're really throwing the ball around. Brendan Keogh has come into the game really in the second half. Half back line, Paul Hardiman, Brian Higgins, a great game all through. Full back line is tough as nails. Cremens good. This is a short free.
It is. It's trying to get Brady, but it is with Moore. It's Brian Moore. Brian Moore drives it out. It clears his line. Out comes Feeney in front of his man. Feeney's had a good one too. Over comes Brendan Keogh. Leave it to me, he says to Eddie Brady. Keogh has it. Keogh on the right hand side drives it in towards the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper is coming out with it. The goalkeeper has it on the stick. He doesn't get in a good clearance. He only gets it to Pat Higgins. Pat Higgins with Moore. Moore and Higgins trying to fight for it there. That's Jimmy Moore. Joe Dordan tries to dig it out as well. Camross trying to come away with it. They do eventually get it too. Ollie Dowling had a great first half, not a very good second one, because Athenry came more and more into it in that second half, into the wind as it comes to Brendan Keogh. Out it comes. It is Paul Hardy. Paul Hardiman, but he's been put to ground. Ollie tries to win it. Paul Hardiman, thanks very much, takes it back from him, and he gives it over. Carried it, says the referee, and Camross will have a final chance to get a score, but it'll only be a consolation. Looking at the stopwatch, 31 coming up to 32 minutes gone in this second half. 4-16 to the Athenrymen, 3-3 to Camross, and really a very accomplished game and a very accomplished performance by the Athenrymen.
Great scoring, Paul, when you consider the weather. People that aren't here don't realise the conditions. Great scoring.
So Ollie Dowling drives it in. It's a high one. It's going all the way in towards the goalkeeper, and Cremens has it. Cremens getting protection there from Jerry Kane. Gives it out. Lovely ball to Brian Feeney. Brian Feeney right of back position. Brian Feeney right-handed down towards Donald. Donald, excellent by Donald. Donald gives a lovely touch. Oh, he gives the ball away. I thought it was going to be a lovely touch, but he sold his man Rabbit short as the ball is cleared out over the far side. Keogh knocks it down. Keogh tries to get it back from Brian Higgins. Keogh tries to win it. In comes Barry Keenan. A mock on one-ish story. He puts a good ball across, but back there is the goalkeeper Cremens, and he says, I let this ball go over the end line. So it's a 4-16 to 3-3, where we're looking at the stopwatch. 32 minutes gone in this second half. Coming to you in association with Bussern. We'll be going for news of the rally, for news of Galway United. We hope we'll have good news of them as well. News of the Galway footballers that were doing so well at half-time. We're delighted to hear it. News of the rally, as I say, and indeed the rugby game, all coming up here in a few moments. And Joe Rabbit steps over the line, and I think the referee almost think we're going into some kind of an inter-county scene when he's gone a fair few minutes over the time, but I suppose there was an injury to Joe Dollard.
Yeah, well, at this stage, Athenry don't mind. Like, they're cruising at this stage and they're going to win the game, and they're starting to get a substitute run. Rabbit chipped a hard on, knocked at him. He caught a good ball and he was torpedoed, but he's up again. I think it's a leash lad that's down now at the moment. This game is dead, Paul, in the sense that it's over. Athenry have won a great game in the conditions, played great hurling, like they're in great shape, and I have no doubt, it doesn't matter who comes through, whether it's Wolf Jones or Cushendall, Athenry are capable of bringing another Club All-Ireland back to Galway.
So we're just trying to see if we got the word on Cushendall and the other side. We haven't got any word as yet of the Tones game, so we'll just have to wait for the end of this to see who Athenry will actually play in that final. The last we heard it was a draw there, but it is Brendan Keogh clearing his lines for the Athenry man. He gets it out. Eddie Brady's trying to go for it. The ball is whipped in by a Camross stick, and back there is Feeney. Feeney trying to dig it out and bury it out. Dollard has it. Dollard gives it inside. Tries to get it to Barry Keenan, but it's Athenry and Feeney. Brian Feeney who pucks it out. Up go the hands. Pat Higgins, has he got it in the paw? He has. He is hiding it in the paw. He puts it down. Donald Moran's going to give chase here. Donald has it. Donald has it in space. Right at forward position. Rabbit's gone inside him. Rabbit just inside him. Can Donald find Rabbit? Donald finds Rabbit. Rabbit right at forward, going for a big score, left-handed. Oh, he doesn't go for the score. He gets it across. Beautiful ball to Cahill. Cahill high. And Cahill over the bar, and that's a good score by Cahill Morton, and the Morton combination with Rabbit has yielded rich harvest, or rich dividends today here. It's a 4-17 to 3-3.
4-17 is a great score in this kind of conditions, like, and they're really throwing the ball around.
So the referee is looking at the watch. Here it comes, and it's all over. So Cyril, we look forward to your comments on St. Patrick's Day in Dublin, Croke Park. Great win. You were delighted with it.
Oh, great win. Great team display. Played very well, like, and it shows like that they have the hurlers. Athenry have been threatening to do this for years, Paul. Really, they've won a lot underage, but now they're just coming really into their own. And I think, like, since the cup games, like, they're really coming into a team at the moment, like, and it's going to take some team to beat them. I don't think there's any team in the country to beat them at the moment. They'll win a Club All-Ireland.
Just before we leave it to pick your Galway FM Bus Airden man of the match, would you like a few minutes and we'll do it for 7 o'clock, or do you want to do it now?
Well, Paul, it was great displays. First of all, it was a team effort. There's no doubt about that. That kind of a score, 4-17, has to be a team effort. Back's very solid. Brian Higgins had a great game wing back. Paul Harlan, probably the best game he's ever played wing back. Keogh came into it right in the middle of the field. No, the rest are very good as well. Up front, really threw the ball around. Pat Higgins worked like a Trojan. Brian Hanley worked hard. To get him off the last minute, it didn't matter. Up front, like, Rabbit doing a lot of donkey work. But, like, you had the Morans and you had Coonan in there, like, you know, and they really took some great scores, like, you know. And I suppose, like when you get scores like that, like, it came down to me between three players: Brian Higgins, Donald Moran and Eugene Coonan. They got a trouble on scores between them, like, and on the day, I suppose you'd have to say that Donald Moran got two fantastic goals. I would make him go be a man of the match. Like, he got the goal that started off Athenry. He took another great goal. There was some great scoring, but Athenry won't mind. Like, it's a team effort. But on today, I'd say you'd have to give it to Donald Moran.
Well, sir, we'll look forward to your comments again in our Sunday Sports Roundup, and we'll be going to the dressing room. And for the people in Athenry, if you want to have a look at this game, the people who have to stay at home, it'll be in the pubs, because I know that Neil Burke, Frank Burke Videos will have this video, the video of today's game with our own commentary. It'll be in the pubs in Athenry later on this evening. Listen, I know you're waiting for news of the rally. Thanks to everyone who helped out, to Cyril Farrell, our match analyst, to both Mark and Brian who helped out in production here, to everyone back at base. We have a long day to go in sport. We'll hand back to you with the great news. The man who was in Athenry all day will hand back to Kevin, and Kevin, you can take